Hello and welcome back to the Hopeless series. Now this is episode number 4 of this series. And I do recognize that this one game seems a little bit boring. There's more than one. That's why it's called a series. There's a particular pattern, I don't know if you've noticed, but if it's just a standard game, it's just like one game, it's not really called a series. Like, look at Soul Knight. Soul Knight is a series, yes. But I just call it series. Soul Knight. Same thing for Evil Factory, Lost in Harmony, One Bit Rogue. For me to say it's a series means that there's multiple games by the same creators, or it's by the same vein that it should be. These little glowy light blobs. But this is not what we're talking about this episode. Last episode we talked about hearts and stuff. This episode, we may continue on the same vein, but we're going to see where God takes us. So, even though you may not be ready, we're going to keep on moving forward. Now, when God calls you to something, it may not be the easiest thing in the world. It may not make the most sense. But you need to trust that God knows what He's doing. Yeah, the situation ahead may seem scary and unsure, but your best bet is to follow His path. Now, most people don't have the privilege of being able to see the checkpoints of their life, so to speak, ahead of time, like how I do. That's why I kind of always know I'm on the right path. But not everybody has that privilege. So you're just kind of walking aimlessly around, hoping that you're doing the right thing. But I can tell you this, the best thing you can do is to walk your life in a way that you want to keep on moving forward with God. Yes, that's very good. But you gotta know that can't be done via, normal means. You can't do it on your own willpower, is what's being said. Because the more you try, the more you realize, wow, this is incredibly difficult, and it seems like a tall order. And it is a tall order. Okay? It's like ordering, it's like, this ain't an easy path to walk. But you need to know that as crazy as things may seem, and as much as it seems like you're not making any progress, like how it is with, games like this, just know that in some weird way, the fact that you have that in your brain means that you have made progress. Even if it doesn't look like it, you've made some progress. A single step forward can be the difference between you staying on a path or you falling off that cliff. Now, in Dead Eyes, we've mentioned that this path of walking with God is like walking on a very rickety bridge that has no guardrails, and on either side it looks like you're in a nice flowery field. That's sin, people. You'll fall into it And it seems nice and friendly at first, and then next thing you know, you have a drug addiction, or your marriage is falling apart because of infidelity, or you went too far and now somebody's dead. It just escalates. But you gotta keep moving forward. You gotta keep fighting against the odds. God sees your trials. He sees them. He's not, up there and just kind of like ignoring everyone. No, he's constantly watching us. He's watching us. And every now and again he sends, people to kind of inspire other people to walk for him. But know this, if you feel you need to do something major for God in order to feel anything, like you have to constantly do something major and major and major, like a mission trip in order to get close to God, you are walking in the wrong way. Because the way that you should be walking is like this. You should be walking in a constant, like every single day, you say hello to God, at least like a hello. And you gotta acknowledge that you sin every single day. Whether you know it or not, you sin. From that little white lie to you looking at that person over there and be like, that is if you're judging someone based on their outward appearance and outward behavior, and not looking at their heart and the reasoning behind their behavior and their appearance, then what you are doing is casting unrighteous judgment. That's something that somebody like me can't do, or else we get some serious ramifications for that. Yeah, it gets pretty scary. But other people, like you guys, don't have that heaviness on you. The closer you are with God, to the higher the standard you're heavenly. Don't let that discourage you, though. I'd rather be kept in check by an almighty and all-knowing being than be, kind of left alone to act like an animal. God understands our stresses too. That we get pretty stressed out. It's okay to get stressed out. You feel kind of overwhelmed and like everything's going crazy. Sorry, I had to yell. And you just gotta know this. I know it gets difficult, I know it gets scary, and I know things are just like kind of all over the place at all given times. But at the end of the day, when you get saved, you're saved. But that doesn't mean it ends there. It's a constant battle. Now it's between you and what your flesh, your body, your old nature wants to do, which is something that's ingrained into you. Because if walking with God was easy, then everybody would do it. And there wouldn't be other religions. There actually wouldn't be religion at all. There would just be humans and God. There wouldn't be a need for an adversary. There wouldn't be a need for God to have died for us and then promptly defeated death so we can spend eternity with him. We would just be able to just pop into heaven whenever we want. But the fact that that's not the case means that this world's kind of messed up. And it's only going to get more messed up, people. We got World War III, like right on the brim. We've got maybe a couple sinkholes. You never know. I mean, more monsoons, definitely. Riots in the streets all over the place. They're going to try to get Israel to sign over much of its land over to other countries like Syria and Palestine. Wait, is it still called Palestine? Oh. I don't know what they call it then now. Oh, jeez. But yeah. You gotta know that as scary as everything gets, so long as you're looking at anything other than God, this world is going to be terrifying. It's going to be terrifying because of the fact that you're going to feel like, oh my gosh, this is so much. You can't do this, yada, yada, yada. Chinese checkers. And you got to know that that's just not the case. You can't make it on your own. That was never the point of what God did, of why God did why he did it. He did why God did what he had done. It was when he did it, when he did the thing, he was like, it is done. I mean, can you just like imagine like being there while Jesus was up on the cross, beaten and bloodied for our sakes. Having that knowledge that he was like being there and having that knowledge, and then just hearing him say it is done, and then you're just like, oh no. And then he just like leaves, and then literally the whole world was like, it was like cracking, and the veil was like right down the middle. And this is not like an easy. This thing was like multiple feet thick. This thing was like a wall of cloth. That was the veil. Anything thinner, and anybody who comes near the temple will just be instantly dead. You know, that's how God's wrath is. It will instantly just kill you. In most cases. In very, very rare cases, like with me, people were able to withstand the wrath of God, at least to a certain degree, and not die. But then again, even that was God holding back a lot, just so you can understand. Most people here, they just kind of get like a little slap on the wrist. Yeah, you probably have never seen the wrath of God, and it is the most terrifying. It feels like you're standing in the midst of a nuclear explosion and being struck by thousands upon thousands upon thousands of bolts of lightning all at once, and you're like multiple explosions are going off right next to you and within you and around you, and it feels like you're just going to be torn apart on a molecular level, which is an incredibly it's agony. It's the best word I have for it, is absolute agony and terror. For lack of a better word, it is absolute agony and terror. And that's going to be poured out on this world in the future. Now, I know, I don't really talk about this particular topic as much And that's because that's not where God takes the conversation. This is where he's taking it now. Because you have to know. You guys, you have to know. Also, I do have that stuttering issue. It comes back, it goes, it comes back. It's just something that you just gotta deal with along with me on this channel, because I can't help it. I've tried for years, and now since I'm trying my best not to curse as much, the stutter is back full force, because that was the way that I dealt with that, the way that I dealt with my excessive cursing, my stuttering. I had to have filler words so I could keep the sentence flowing, or else it would just be standing there with a Porky Pig-esque person there, just stuttering, stammering, just trying to communicate his thoughts to another human being to be understood. And now, not doing that anymore, so the stutter is back. So now, with the grace of God and his help, it's getting done. It's just gonna take a while. And that's how it is when you walk with him. He's constantly working on you, because you're flawed. Your time in sin, your time in this world, it breaks you, and it taints you, and it cracks you. Think of it like this. Think of yourself like a I guess a clockwork machine could work. So we're gonna go with that. Think of yourself like a clockwork machine, and think of like your flaws, like one of the cogs is cracked, or one of the cogs is warped. That's kind of how it is with a stutter. Like with my stutter, with the way that I speak. I'll speak, and then there's like this, that will get stuck in a word. And it gets very frustrating, because like, think of it like that. Think of it like the cog, like one of the cogs has a missing gear. And because of that missing gear, like it just kind of gets stuck. And then it will just get stuck in a word. And out of frustration, when I was younger, I would just yell out a curse word and led people to think I had Tourette's. No, it's just a bad stutter that just wouldn't go away. And everybody's got a flaw like that. They do this, like, when they fall with sin. And look, that just means that you're human. It's okay to have flaws. It's okay to be like, yeah, okay, I messed up. I gotta try better in the future. Don't use that as an excuse to sin and stuff. You gotta keep that in mind. And God sacrificed a lot on your behalf. You know this. Even if it seems hopeless right now, progress is still being made. It's just, for some people, it's like, yeah, they make awesome progress. Like, they just do something cool and awesome, because that's the way that God can use them. Other people, the progress is a little more like slow and grindy, because they have so many things that God's got to work on in them. And not everyone is going to be the same. Not everybody is going to have that easiness that they can easiness as far as, that walking with God is concerned. No, it's going to be difficult. It's going to be a challenge. But that's what makes this pretty awesome. This walking with God, so awesome. Because if it wasn't for God, you wouldn't have a reason to exist. The only reason you're here right now is because God is reaching out to you. And I've said this in multiple other videos, but it's a point that needs to be reinstated multiple times. Because it's not going to be... This is not an easy path for people to walk. And I've said this in multiple other series, It needs to be said, and I know I'm kind of all over the place psychologically at the point. But whatever you're afraid of, as far as walking with God, it's good to be afraid of God. That'll keep you from making any decisions too stupid. You still make stupid decisions, but at least it'll keep you in check at some point. Like you won't go to the extremes. And God will keep you in line, but you got to keep in mind that it's not going to be an easy line to walk. And all these other people, other like the pastors and teachers, they'll be like, "Oh yeah, no, you could do it easy." No. Don't tell them that. You're giving them like a false idea of what this really is. But it's worth it. Yeah, it's kind of a crazy, scary path, but it's a path that I'd rather walk than that other one. Because at least I know at the end of it, I got something to look forward to. I got an amazing God waiting for me at the end of this walk. Yeah, and I'll trip and I'll fall, but it'll help me back up. And it'll help you out too. I thank you for sitting through this whole video. Glory be to God, and blessings be upon you. Thank you. And if you've been following all my series, even more so, thank you. This is truly an honor. And this is the Silver Watchman, signing out.